According to Apple, the iPad mini with Retina display had a 100% customer approval rating, and because of this they've decided to change very little with its follow-up, the iPad mini 3. And when we say very little, we really do mean it. While the iPad mini 2 was as close to a flawless product when it comes to small tablets, the iPad mini 3 seems somewhat lacking considering the power and slimming down that its big brother, the iPad Air 2 got, that wouldn't have gone amiss at all on the iPad mini 3. And when it comes down to the differences between the iPad mini 3 and its predecessor, it's simply that the new one gets Touch ID fingerprint scanning for unlocking the tablet and paying for iTunes purchases, and it comes in gold. Yep, that's it. But it does give one positive to its predecessor. The Mini 2 now starts at a pretty affordable £240, with the Mini 3 coming in at £320. And that price difference is pretty huge considering the similarities. The same slim but not too slim 7.5mm aluminium build and a 7.9 inch screen with a sharp 2048 by 1536 resolution. There's no difference at all with the screen itself, but contrast is still excellent and colours are accurately represented and more than good enough for Netflix and surfing. However, it does lack in comparison to its bigger siblings, so if you need a tablet for working with images or videos, we'd recommend the iPad Air 2 or the Nexus 9 instead. Power and performance remains the same as well, and it's still more than enough for all the apps and games on the market currently, and doesn't suffer from stutters or lags with general use. Still, some will be disappointed that the iPad mini 3 misses out on the A8X processor and the M8 Motion coprocessor, the innards found in the iPad Air 2, but for the time being last year's processor is enough for our needs. And when it comes to battery, it is again the same as last year's model, and the iPad Air 2 as well. You can get just about 10 hours use from it with general browsing, but more power hungry games will see that figure vastly reduced. It's still very respectable and means only having to charge the iPad mini every day or so. But the one major change, the Touch ID, is a welcome addition, and the things you can do with it include being able to replace your PIN code to unlock your iPad, and there's fingerprint authentication for iTunes and App Store purchases, so you don't have to enter your password in every time. And Apple Pay, which is only available in the US for now, adds support for lots more online transactions, such as the Apple Store and booking an Uber cab. But unlike the iPhone 6, it doesn't have NFC built in, so you won't be paying for things in shops with your Mini 3. Overall, the iPad Mini 3 is a splendid mini tablet, but it's essentially an iPad Mini Retina all over again just with Touch ID. And the changes are so small that if you already own an iPad Mini Retina, most of the new features can be found through an iOS 8.1 upgrade. However, if this is your first Apple tablet and you want a smaller form factor and Touch ID appeals, this is by far your best option. Otherwise, £80 is too much to pay just for Touch ID. If Apple want to keep the Mini in the frame, it will definitely need some major improvements next year.